Hello, everyone. This is the Jimmy Hitchcock podcast. A talk about the truth. It's called Post, P-O-A-S-T, the real truth. Plan of action, stop talking. I'm here with one of the super trolls on Facebook and one of the most notorious of trolls, and a guy that has a great perspective, a different perspective from what I have about life, about politics. His name is Derek Roberts. He's the mayor of
Newland,
North Carolina, and he was my center in high school. Really good center. I missed him when he left a little bit. Pat Riley became my center after he left, but I miss his butt was a little bigger than Pat's. So, but anyway, I have Derek Roberts here, better known as Tripp to all of his friends and myself.
Now, I would like to say this. All this in the Jimmy Hitchcock world is because of my big butt. He fails to mention that. If it was not for myself and little scrawny ass Pat, yeah. If we had not blocked for him,
right,
and
absolutely,
he would not have been able to have that 4.3 speed run down the field.
Absolutely.
So,
I wouldn't have gotten a scholarship,
right,
and things like that.
We launched you.
You did,
yeah. You did. In fact.
And
you're welcome. After 35 years.
Thank you so much.
Came here today to receive that thank you. And
Thank you. And I have Tripp here, and this is not the Jimmy Hitchcock room. It's downstairs, but we're up in a room where we get better sound. But you see, with the Stone Center for Black Culture and History. And I know you're so happy and excited to be in this type of environment.
Yeah, I love Chapel Hill. Thank you. Anytime I can get invited to Chapel Hill, I appreciate it. Okay?
Right.
But I'll tell you this quick story. The first class I took at Carolina was a psych class.
Gotcha.
And I was a veteran, had just gotten out of the Army, and I was so excited.
Right.
Because when I was in high school, Miss Ewart, you remember Miss Ewart?
Yes, I do.
Set me and my mom down my sophomore, junior year and said, my mom was like, he really wants to go to Carolina. He just really wants to go to Carolina. His dad went to Carolina. His uncle went to Carolina. He wants to go to Carolina. Miss Ewart sat back and looked at me and my mom and said, he ain't smart enough.
What?
Yeah, dead ass said he ain't smart enough. And then she sat back. She said he is smart enough, but he's not putting forth the effort. He's playing around too much.
Absolutely.
The football, Coach Smith has gotten in his head and made him think that he's
a lot of us are like
that. Yeah. So my trek to get into Carolina was, going to Lees McRae College and drinking my way out, joining the Army while I was in the Army and realizing that.
Then coming here.
Yeah, exactly. And then making it here. And so that first class, going back to the liberal bastion that we're in Chapel Hill, I had two young men that for some reason thought, I don't know what I was putting off, to be honest with you, because I had a wife who we just had our first daughter.
Gotcha.
And they invited me for coffee. I thought, okay. Turned out they were trying to turn me into some sort of weird little threesome deal.
Oh, cold-blooded.
The first damn class at Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
that type of situation.
It was.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't find you attractive.
Thank you. I'm glad. So I've had to hear from my wife how good looking you are for the past few days. That might be why I said, you know what, maybe you shouldn't come down. Maybe let me go down there and deal with this.
On your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
So long story short, yes, I appreciate the ability to come to the Stone Center for Black Culture and History.
Okay.
And I appreciate it in Chapel Hill.
It is.
And I appreciate.
And you appreciate seeing Hitchcock multipurpose room.
It shocked me.
It shocked you a little bit.
It is shocking. Yes.
Yeah, it is a little
only
shocking.
Because as CJ and I and you were just talking, there's two Jimmy Hitchcocks. There's the one I went to high school with that was just a good dude and
I appreciate
a nice guy and would laugh and joke in the hallways and would come up to that line And I'd go out first. You call the play. I go out first. You call the play again. You come out, and then you'd be nervous as hell and say, "What are we doing here?" And I just
I used to forget to count a lot.
A lot. You think?
Lot. Yeah, I used to forget to count a lot.
Which was fascinating.
But it's because I'm thinking like, what am I gonna do on this play? Like, I'm gonna try to how am I gonna where am I?
Oh, yeah.
Where am I gonna go?
Yeah.
What is Edmund gonna be open? That's how I used to think. And I just
you had
forget
one job and you would forget it.
And I forget to count. Almost every time.
Yeah. And you remember what I used to say to you? Just run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball, bro.
That's it.
Just run it.
Who cares?
And you say something like when I forget to snap count. What the fuck, Hitchcock? What the hell's wrong with you? What?
And poor Greg over blowing snot everywhere. Got snot coming out of his face mask, and Lamont over there talking through that gap tooth. But anyhow,
so many times you used to piss on yourself, and I used to have to put my hands in that.
Yeah. But it was weird that you like to do that double tap a lot. You come up and tap me on the balls one time too many. I used to complain to Coach Smith. I was like,
"No, man, that was
Billy Gray doesn't do that."
That was like a design situation where
to what? Touch my ball sack? I don't.
If I touch you twice, I forgot what was the thing.
Well, that was your letting me know you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. But
that was crazy. Yeah, that was.
I couldn't understand because Billy Gray never did that. Taylor Pruitt did, but we always wondered. Yeah.
Oh wow. So we're gonna talk about history, culture.
Okay.
But mostly just politics and just today's society. Okay, so my first thoughts are, what did you think about the debate last night?
Sad
Sad
on both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
Okay, it's sad that this is what we are being offered.
Right.
Okay, sad that we have a current president that is in such bad shape. Right. And I don't think anybody can dispute that.
That was bad.
Yeah,
bro.
that was bad.
That was bad.
I
mean, you can't hide it.
You can't hide it. And they can claim he had a cold. There's so many things they can say.
They can say he's sick or got COVID. You just don't forget where you are.
Yeah.
That much.
Yeah.
So he has an issue. I think I think that they're going to replace him.
How?
They're gonna put Gavin Newsom up there, man.
Stop. We're sitting in the Sonia Haynes stone black cultures, and you're telling me they're going to replace a black woman, right? And she's not even a black woman. Let's be honest.
But she can't win. She can't.
No, she can't win. But you're going to sit here and tell me that they're going to usurp her.
Yes. And they're going to put Gavin Newsom. They're going to have to.
What is the black community going to do? Y'all will lose your mind, bro. I would lose your mind for you.
Well, no, the black community, they're not going to vote for Trump. The black women.
Okay.
But it's going to be an inordinate amount of black males that vote for Trump.
Why?
It's a lot. We're going to get into that later.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. But overall, what do you think about the debate situation? What did you take from it?
We're fucked. I mean, think about
seriously.
It. Yeah, seriously.
I mean, seriously.
We have two.
Serious.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, me too.
And make no bones about it. Right. I am a Trump guy.
I know you
and
are.
I'll go down that road and explain why I'm a Trump guy.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. But we are screwed, and it's sad that this is another make no bones about it. We're the greatest country ever.
Right.
Even for all the crap that we have going on, we're still the greatest country ever.
Yes.
Okay? Where Jimmy Hitchcock can show up in Chapel Hill with 2 pairs of jeans and 3 T-shirts and no underwear because he ain't smart enough to buy underwear rather than Jordans. Okay? Right? And end up where you were at.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or I can go from drinking my way out of college into the Army and own a couple businesses and sit here and be successful.
Greatest country in the world.
Greatest in the story.
Yeah.
But this is not, I don't understand how it gets here. I blame you and I and CJ and
Me too.
And the voters. We're the problem.
We're the problem.
We're the problem. We keep
We're the problem.
accepting.
We're in a loop. We're in this crazy loop where we're just absent-minded. We accept this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we accept this like an abusive relationship, that we accept this crap of a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why can't we just bring along someone else to insert in, you know, a third guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And but you and I have talked about this, and we agree on this.
Right.
We got to put in term
limits.
Because you get people up there that forget what it's like to be us.
And not only that, but, and this is going to be controversial, but there should be an age.
Why is that controversial, bro?
It's going to be controversial to the liberals a lot of liberals out there that's listening.
Yeah.
They're going to think, but listen, I think that there should be an age cutoff.
100%.
Why do we have two 80-year-olds battling it out in an intellectual situation? Like, is their brain capacity close to
where it needs to be?
Yeah.
They should be at Walmart as a greeter, the sweet old grandpa greeter. And even then, you got to corral them up. Stay right there.
Yeah. Get back over here.
Quit eating the popcorn, old man.
I'm saying, I mean, it's sad to say, and we're not trying to disrespect the elder or the elderly, but come on. Can we not get two younger people to represent the United States of America?
Do you have any elderly folks in your life right now that you know? What's the oldest person you deal with right
It's
now?
my mom. And
she's not that. I mean,
she's in her 70s. She's in her 70s.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's pretty young, given the whole state of affairs that we're seeing with Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
That's relatively young. But
do you think she's mentally...
Is she capable mentally to handle the rigor of a presidency?
Yeah.
Hell
no.
No. Hell no.
No.
Right. So when you, like, for you, it'll be a tough job. And for me, at 53, it would be a tough job, especially having helmet issues.
Yes.
So what are we doing choosing between these two 80-year-olds?
Yeah.
But we'll just get past that we can go back to the question that we talked about earlier, which is why Trump? Give me your reasoning for the Trump phenomenon.
He thinks about America first. It's a simple answer
Simple
for me.
as that.
It's simple as that. When you have a president walks into NATO, and everybody's giving him a hard time about how he wants to. When he walks into NATO, and even people that don't like Trump said this was one of the most amazing things they've ever seen. He walked in, I think it was in England,
right?
And they were all sitting around. He was the last one to come in. He sat down and he said, "If you don't start paying," he told them their numbers. "If you don't start paying your amount." And the reason that's important for me and you, Jimmy, is it's our tax money. Why are we giving $100 billion to the Ukraine? Now, I was in the military, and I can see the global spectrum of well, we got to stop Putin, and I get that. But just like
stop him from doing what, though? What are we stopping him from?
We don't want him to end up trying to take Poland and some other areas, because do you realize how much grain the world gets from the Ukraine?
Yes.
I haven't had a buckwheat pancake in 3 years. Do you know why?
Because
buckwheat comes from the Ukraine.
From the Ukraine.
Yeah. And it's
the breadbasket.
It really is. I mean, we do a lot here, but not compared to what they're doing over there. So I can see that, but there's other ways to do it. And when Trump says things like he said last night, you have all the European countries that are right there. Why are they not putting in more money? And they're not.
Right.
Because they know America will. But that's why mine and your taxes are so jacked up. That's why we're spending so. It is hard right now.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. The inflation over the grocery store inflation is so ridiculous.
I spent $100 and walked out with 3 bags.
Exactly. I mean, you can get just a little bit of things.
$100.
And it's $100, man.
Imagine what the young. I have a young daughter who has 2 kids, and her boyfriend, soon to be husband, goes out. He works hard. She works also. She can't afford to work because she has 2 small children. But if not for, say, food stamps or whatever it is the program they have now,
right,
and family members pitching in and helping, they're not going to get they don't have what they need.
Right.
And they won't have what they need.
Right.
And that's a problem.
It is.
And they're making $15 and $25 an hour, and they're still struggling. And it's just,
What's the median rent price right now for
in my area?
In America, I think it's like
$2,700.
$2,700.
Think about that.
$2,700.
That's how much
median.
That's how much I made when
price.
I first went in the Army. I made $2,700 a month when I first went in the Army. Think about that.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
1992.
1992.
Yeah.
All right.
30 years ago.
So let's add. So do the math, CJ. 27 times 12. I can't. I'm not smart enough to calculate it in my head right now. But 2,700.
324.
How much?
324.
2,700 times 12 months.
32,000.
32,000.
Yeah. Right?
32.
Yeah.
$32,400. You got to spend
Yeah. To live.
to live.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're a family of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Your median to be in a decent neighborhood, because if you're going down below 1,800,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you're in the hood
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
or close to the hood.
Scary. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not living really.
You're not parking your car on the street.
Right, you're not parking your car on the street.
Right.
You're in certain areas, and certain areas are being gentrified.
Yeah.
in ways that it's a little better.
Yeah.
But my thing is, you got to start with almost $33,000
Right out the gate.
right out the gate.
You're working 2.5 weeks to pay your rent.
to pay your rent, and then you working that doesn't include the inflated grocery prices that you got to pay. If you go to a grocery store now,
Yeah.
and you're shopping for a family of 3 or 4,
Yeah.
can you come out of there with less than $300?
No. $300 to $400.
$300 to $400
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah.
Can you go out to eat?
No.
Right. So my thing is, the inflationary situation is so horrific right now. What are we going to do about it?
And that comes back around to my support of Trump. You can't dispute when he was president the numbers.
Right, but you can dispute some of the numbers.
Which ones?
Okay, let's say the tariff. All right,
Okay.
so he implemented a tax, that tariff on on goods coming from China. Okay, and Biden, being as dumb as they are in that administration, hadn't taken those tariffs off. They're actually hurting us. All right, so, and I understood why he did the tariff, because he wanted to tax the goods coming in, but the tariffs are actually hurting us right now. Biden hadn't taken those tariffs down, and he's not going to take them down because he don't want to see the political backlash from taking down those tariffs and saying he's soft on China.
Do you think if the government would use the money they're making off the tariffs and put it back in to keep our taxes and keep our inflation down, do you think that would help rather than spending all this money on these wars?
We don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Do we know what's going on with
No.
the money? Right. I mean, every year there's money missing. Right? In the report, there's money missing. Yeah. Like, I remember one year they was talking about how some billions of dollars was missing that went to to defense.
Yeah, people should go to jail on the daily.
On the daily.
Yeah.
Why is it that we have AI?
Right.
We got
Yeah.
people calculating things at the speed of sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
But we can't
We got computers.
Yeah.
But we can't take that technology and help just manage the budget and track every dollar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's our fault.
It's our fault.
It's our fault. Yeah.
Why can't we, like the people that actually need the money?
Yeah.
Like, every time an election comes about, they target me,
Okay.
right, for donations.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Right?
I get text all day, but yeah.
You get text all day, right?
Yeah.
You get texts.
Yeah.
And
Phone calls.
But you know, on the back end of that,
Yeah.
they know how much money you make per year.
Oh, yeah.
They know where you live.
Yeah, yeah.
They know what you drive.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They
Oh,
know
yeah.
how much money you spend all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's why they target you.
Yeah.
But we can't take any technology that we have and target the
Yeah.
poor
Yeah.
and actually give the money to the people
So who needs it?
who need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when we did the whole COVID payout
Yeah.
and they just, here,
Yeah.
take this money, here.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah.
And people were taking it.
Yeah. Left and right.
And some people were committing fraud
Yeah.
and getting
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Right?
Yeah.
But you can't, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But you can't just micromanage money.
Yeah.
The most important thing, the most important resource that
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah.
We can't micromanage to speak to that.
We can't even manage a driver's license. Look how hard it is to get a driver's license.
It's so true.
Minimize that. I get texts right now. I got on the way down here. People mad at me because I'm the mayor.
Right.
I have nothing to do with this. This is the state, but it's in our town hall.
Right.
I can't get my driver's license. You know, the guy's never here. He's won't do a driving test, whatever. And I always say, hey, that's the state. Call the governor. You know, I don't know what to tell you. But think about that. It's just a driver's license. And that's another thing I want me and you to talk about is when you and I were coming through, we had North Carolina history. We had civics.
Right.
Nobody's getting that anymore. Nobody understands how things work.
Right.
The state of North Carolina controls your driver's license and your license
Right, of
plate.
course it's-
Right. But on the local level, okay, it's in the town halls because that's the that's the county seat, if you will, especially in smaller counties like where I'm at.
Right.
Now down here in Chapel Hill, I'm sure they've got plenty. I think they're doing kiosk where you can walk up to a machine.
Right,
And,
yes.
And
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize my wife just got hers online.
Right.
And it was
You
mailed
can
to her.
you can do it online.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can do it online, the renewal.
Right. The problem that we're having in my area, and you're going to love this, and this goes to exactly what's going on with Biden and the immigration thing, is when you come into the town hall, our driver's license guy's there 3 days a week. He's in Spruce Pine, the next county over, 2 days a week. You come in, and there's 50 to 75 Hispanics sitting in there. And then why that's interesting and important is the governor signed on with Biden and have agreed to give even illegals, okay, a state mandated ID.
Okay.
Now think about that, Jimmy. Why are they doing that?
Why are they doing that?
Ultimately, votes. Ultimately, what they're going to do is the law says that any person can vote if they think they are legal to vote. So, if you walk in there with a state mandated ID, you think, well, I've got an ID from North Carolina, I should be able to vote. You cannot arrest that person for him thinking that he can vote, even though he's illegal. It's a backdoor thing, and of course, there's politicians trying to close that back door. But the problem that I have with it is as the DMV people will tell you, if you pull them to the side, they won't say it out loud.
Okay.
If you pull them to the side, they'll say, here's the problem I have. I have these people sitting down in front of me, have no proof who they are, no birth certificate. They require your birth certificate. They require CJ's birth certificate. No proof of what country they came from.
So they don't have any proof getting
nothing. They just sit down with whatever paperwork that they generate. Now, they do generate a little bit of something, but there's no way for the state license guy to verify Venezuelan paperwork? Think about that. How is he going to verify whatever is being said to him in front of him? And our guy is so frustrated he can't see straight.
Wow.
Because he opens up the door and it's just, I have a different perspective than obviously you do because of the type of work I do. And here's the problem that I have.
Okay.
20 years ago when I had a masonry business, I tried really hard to just work Americans, black and white guys, okay? But that was the tail end of actual masons, guys that knew real masons. Knew what they were doing. They
Right.
came up, tendered for a while,
Right.
learned how to do
Learned
it,
how
had
to
that
do it.
brick bounced off their head.
Right.
Okay, but the problem that you had with the black and white guys is they show up at 9,
Right.
they stand around smoking cigarettes,
Yeah, take
complain-
10 breaks.
Yep. They don't get started until 11.
Right.
They take a lunch break at 1, and they're off by 2.
Right.
Okay? And the issue is when you're laying a bunch of stone at Appalachian State University, you got to get it done and get out of the way because the school's in session, right?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So I did start transitioning to hiring Hispanics. Bar none, some of the best Masons I've ever met. hardest workers.
Hardest workers.
Type of guys that would pull up
Bar
in the
none.
morning. Bar none. Pull up in the morning, put their truck lights on the wall to get started.
Right.
Before the sun would come up.
Yep.
Okay?
That's just what they do.
But then the problem that you have, okay, because they're from a third world country, you show up on a job site and there's a 12-year-old over there mixing concrete. Okay, you can't have that.
Can't do that.
And then you go out there and you ask, who is this kid?
Right.
Well, they don't know. It's just some kid that's been living in the trailer park where they're at and wanted to work.
Right.
And I appreciate that from that kid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course you do.
But you can't do that because of guidelines and safety and whatever else. My point is back then, the immigrants that were coming into our country were skilled labor. And when people talk about that, that's very, very important.
Super important.
Super important. Now we're getting... And
all types of folk.
And in my little town, we have two outfits that bring HB1s, or H1Bs, however you pronounce it, from the border. They fill out paperwork, and it's all legal, and they bus them in. And then, you'll see in the middle of the night a bunch of buses, a whole bunch of Hispanics running around. And then all of a sudden the next day they're gone because this company farms them out to golf courses and wherever they're going to go. But now what's happening is we've got a whole lot of just hanging arounders, okay, that don't have any skills, that don't know what they're doing, where they're going. They're just here because they didn't want to be in Venezuela or Mexico or wherever, okay? And that is a problem because that's what's going to start causing our society to grind in the hospitals and in our Medicaid, Medicare, all that, okay?
Right. I agree with that.
Oh, it's killing.
But the thing is we have some lazy ass people today. So where are we going to get the labor force from?
You said something on your podcast about
Yeah.
that. And
It's
I
so
laughed.
bad.
I cackled. No, you don't get how bad it is. I've got kids coming from high school right now that want $20 an hour and cannot crank a weed eater. Think about that. Come in and tell me he won't work for less than $20 an hour, but cannot crank
can't
a weed
even
crank a weed
Can't
eater.
even crank a weed eater.
Much less, and then I'll send them out to, I'll show them what to do and how to do it, okay? And I'll go by and check it just for quality control, and it looks like a helicopter has gone across it because it's all chopped up and it's burnt, and I'm like, oh my God.
What the hell?
It is the most embarrassing, and
Why,
they don't
why
want
is
to learn.
it so bad?
It's right here. Social media.
Yeah, you're right. You're so
Social
right.
media.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's social media.
It's social media, gaming.
Yep. Yep.
The internet, Twitch.
Yep.
This is my son's problem.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
it's created the most lazy group of individuals since I've been alive.
But Jimmy, it's your fault and it's my fault
It's our fault. Yeah.
because we're letting them.
We're letting
and
them
here's
do it.
why.
Right.
When me and you were coming through, and that was a little bit different for you.
We didn't want we don't want them to work.
We don't want them to have to go through what we went through. But we had the most spectacular raising. I mean, I know yours is a
Yes.
little bit more of a struggle, but
Right.
we had the most spectacular. The way my mom raised me, I would not give, and I try to be the same with my kids. I stay in
Absolutely.
trouble with my wife because I'm a little bit more of a,
Right.
But it's our fault because we're not stepping up and taking the phone and saying, no, get your ass up on, I don't know about you, but my dad, as big asshole as he was, I was out of the bed every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. Everybody else is sleeping in.
Yep.
I was up at 7 o'clock, and he told me to find something to go do.
Yeah. Yeah, I got up there early because I was running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I was
yeah.
running.
Yeah.
So that's why I got up and
But you were doing it for a goal.
I was doing it for a goal.
Yeah.
But these kids today,
Don't care.
I just don't. What are their kids going to be like? You know, what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. What's going to happen to the generation following
I
them?
know. It's still our fault.
It is our fault.
Still our fault.
But we need to do something about it.
We do, and I've had these conversations with my wife. We have 4 grandsons now. We went from all the kids out of high school and off to college, and we thought, okay, we can run around the house naked and act a fool, right?
Right.
No. Like 6 months later,
Somebody come back.
grandson 1, grandson 2, grandson 3, and grandson 4. It's been great, don't get me wrong, Jimmy.
Right.
Okay, but
Right.
my wife is the perfect
Grandma.
grandma.
Wow.
Lets them get away with
She
whatever
don't
they
look
want.
like a grandma. She's hot.
She is hot. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. And when she's on the beach holding her grandson, it looks like her son because she's.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
and I know I'm very, very lucky.
Right.
And
You got some hot women around you. Your sister hot. Your sister's
yeah.
hot too. Ainsley. Yeah.
yeah, she's a nut, but she was hot. Yeah. Anyhow.
We almost.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. Yeah. I know. You were talking about Jeff Lippert the other day. You remember?
Yeah.
In one of your podcasts.
Yeah.
She went from dating Jeff Lippert to I thought it was you at one point.
No, she said my dad and Tripp's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So
for two totally different reasons.
Yeah.
Dad, because he's a racist, and me, because I ain't have none of my buddies.
None of
no.
right.
I whipped Billy Gray's
Right.
ass several times.
Right. I mean, she is hot, bro.
David
Yeah, she was
Moose.
hot.
My mom chased David Moose, and who was the musclehead?
Skibo?
No. White guy. Went to Air Force Academy. Super smart. Eric. In my
Forget his
class,
name. Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He
I
went to
know
Air
exactly
Force.
what you're talking about, yeah.
They got drunk and came over to see Ainsley one night, and my mom heard them upstairs. Didn't know who it was. I mean,
Wow.
she jerked out the shotgun, and next thing I hear them going down the steps. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, look, Ainsley,
Yeah.
ugh, she was hot.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we got diverted a little bit, but
Immigration is a problem.
Right.
And if you don't see it, and the problem that I have with the Democrats, okay, is they don't want to see it, and they want to allow it. And I get that what they're saying. Sure, that we only have 2 or 3 deaths or rapes or homicides, but why is that okay? Why is that okay?
it's not okay.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
That 12-year-old
It
girl
shouldn't.
was taken, tortured for several hours, choked out, and dropped in a creek. What if that was your daughter that just called you? Think about that. I don't know how people aren't in prison. I'd go to prison, Jimmy.
Yeah. Well,
Do that to one of my family members. I will.
me too. I mean, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It'd be scorched earth.
Yeah.
I'd go.
And I'd help
my
you.
daughters. Yeah,
I'd help you.
No, but I understand. I understand where people coming from when they talk about immigration. But the only thing is we have a bunch of lazy people, man.
Yes.
How do we integrate or get people into this country to actually work and actually do these jobs, fill these jobs in these positions that we need filled?
When
How
you
do we
see-
get that done?
Jimmy.
Because we don't have the workforce anymore. Look at you go to the fast food restaurants now. It's atrocious.
Service sucks.
Service is horrible. The restaurant services,
Even
they're-
nice restaurants.
even like the Chili's
Yes.
and the Applebee's,
Carrabba's.
the Carrabba's,
Sucks.
that level, it's horrible across the board.
Yeah.
It only gets good
Yeah.
when you're paying
Big bucks.
$300
Yeah.
for a meal.
Yeah.
What? So my thing is, how do we get the workforce to do the work that we need to get done going forward?
You and I and CJ and everybody that's got a little gray in their beard has to step up and say, no, that's not how you're supposed to treat somebody. When I come
Right.
in here and order
Right.
chicken fingers and whatever else, you say, thank you, sir.
Right.
And here's how much it is.
Right.
And you jump on it and you hand it to me in a presentation that it's supposed to be. Okay? If it's supposed to have a sheet underneath it, then fucking put the sheet underneath it. Okay? And you get the manager out.
Right.
But me and you are scared to do that because we
Right.
don't want to.
We don't want to rattle
somebody's
just
cage or be
ruffle
called
feathers.
or be called a Karen
called
or
a-
what
yeah.
whatever they call people these days.
I agree, man. I mean, I think it's the men of the country that's really got to step up
100%.
to first of all, we got to take care of our kids.
Correct.
And correct their behavior first.
It's got to start in our homes.
It's got to start in our homes. We got to make sure that our kids
Correct.
that's playing on these games
Correct.
and living with mom and you're 20.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
we or dad
Yep.
or mom and dad,
Yep.
we got to correct them
Yep.
first, right?
Got to turn off that cash flow too.
Turn off the cash flow, make them pay.
Get out of the house.
Yeah, make them pay bills in the house,
house.
if they're in there.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And if we're not doing that, then we really can't speak to the stuff coming into the country that's, that's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're trying to because we're a capitalist society, so we're gonna have to
Have
get
some of that.
cheaper
Yes.
labor
Yes.
to survive,
Yes.
right? So
But
if-
is it cheap? Hold on, bro.
Is
Is it cheaper labor? I hired. True story. One of my best amigos. Now he's born in America,
Right.
But he's first generation. He's got a scholarship to UNC Greensboro. Super smart kid.
Okay.
He said, boss, I can't be here Thursday and Friday. Everything okay? Because he's home for the summer.
Right.
I've got to run down to the border and pick up my uncle. He carried $5,000 down to the border to pick up his uncle. Okay. His uncle came up, can't speak a lick of English. Hardest worker you've ever met. And going to what you said, second generation Mexicans are just like white
Right.
guys and black guys. They're lazy.
Yeah, they just like
They-
they're just like
and
everybody else.
We've become a beggar society.
Right.
Because we're handing out COVID money left and
Right.
right. We're doing all this stuff. We've got to cut that stuff. You've got to cut the cash flow off. And another thing that I think you and I are missing, show me a high school that has a shop class anymore.
Right.
Or a home ec class.
Home ec. Well, if you try to get somebody to do home economics, I mean,
Best class I ever had.
we did home ec.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did home ec, CJ. You didn't.
Yeah.
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 So,
Not anymore.
but it's offensive
why?
now.
Yeah.
For
But why?
for women to take home ec.
Okay, but is it offensive
It's-
or is it a small group of media folks and not
know.
to be mean to you because I know
Right.
you're my liberal bro.
I'm not really liberal. I'm common sense.
You're a realist.
I'm a realist.
Yeah.
I'm conservative on some things, liberal on some things, and militant on some things.
Yeah. Okay, and that's fine. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So and my militancy only comes about when we're talking about black boys.
Right.
You know.
Right. But it's because you're overprotective.
Right.
And a lot of people misunderstand the militancy. You know, when you were
Right.
talking about, y'all, I think you said you shaved your heads or your chest or
Right,
your butts.
right,
Or I don't know what y'all
right.
are shaving, but y'all are shaving something. And you're doing it to go out and look angry.
To look angry.
Right.
Right.
Which
To
is
draw attention.
Which is ironic to me because the black community gets mad at the white community because, when the white community is walking through downtown and we see a big black guy coming, you turn into your side and you're trying to avoid him because of exactly what you said.
Right.
You're trying to look intimidating. Trying to look angry. Yeah.
That's for media attention. But on a day-to-day basis, I don't try to look angry. I just try to be me. I look like a normal black.
Well, when you said that, I was like, I can't imagine Jimmy
Yeah.
in an angry setting.
I mean, I went through my angry moments.
Yeah.
When you delve into black history and you
Mm-hmm.
start looking at the slavery and the lynchings and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, you get angry. But when you start to read more,
Yeah.
then you understand it's a part of the world.
Right.
And then you start to become less angry.
Right.
And you start to look at your friends as friends again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad you came
Instead of
around.
being white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So you don't, I have a friend named Justin.
That's a
Justin Drone.
and that's a
You
white
met
name.
him. Yeah, did you meet Justin yet? Okay, yeah. I don't think y'all have met yet. But he's a big Trump supporter too. And a great human being. You have helped with my nonprofit.
Anytime you call. What do you need?
Right.
Yeah.
Justin too. So I can't speak to racism in terms of just the whole country. The whole all white people. I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's individual. It's individual kind of more hatred towards people, but it's not. I can't speak towards systemic racism.
Right.
I just know it exists in the hospital setting or the healthcare setting or the judicial setting. But if you avoid those things as black people, and this is what I teach my daughters and teach my kids, if you avoid those places, don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Like your daddy did.
Yeah. Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Don't get sick.
Yeah.
Treat your body right.
Yeah.
You avoid 90% of the so-called racism that there is. And everything else is individual. There's nothing that can stop you from being you.
Anything you want to be.
Anything that you
In
want
America.
to be in America.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell my kids. But don't think this phantom racism is going to come down and lock you up and
Swarp you away.
And put handcuffs on you. You
wish-
can be what you want to be, and that's what I teach my kids.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's 30 years old. She owns a gym. You
Cool.
know,
Yeah.
and she owns a gym called Iron Forge, in Jacksonville, North Carolina. And she trains Marines.
I was going to say, if she's down there, that's a tough place.
yeah, it's a tough place.
Yeah.
Now, this girl's a hard worker.
Yeah. Obviously.
She went from managing the grocery store to owning the gym.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there was a department in the grocery store. So, and I've taught her, hey, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
You know, because I've done it. I've been in a situation where I felt like nothing can stop me.
Be Jimmy Hitchcock.
Be me.
Like Coach Clement said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just be.
But can I ask you a question?
Good.
Talking about this, and I've thought about this a lot. At what point do we start doing what Morgan Freeman said?
And that's I'm telling you.
So you know what he said?
Yes, I know what he said.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I mean, when do you say that it doesn't exist? Mm-hmm. When do you say that?
It will, hold on. It will always exist.
It'll always exist.
No, I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, so my thing is like, racism will always exist.
Exactly. Yes.
My thing is, people are trying to say or saying that it was like it was or worse than it was in the 50s and 40s. It's the most asinine thing that I've ever heard in my life.
And it's delightful to hear you say that, because the majority of the motoring white public, okay, we go around every day not ever thinking about it. We don't go around contemplating.
Well, that's because you're white.
And I'll cop to that.
Right.
Completely cop to that. Okay. When I get stopped by the police, because I was once the police, I'm a little bit different. Okay.
Right.
And there's epic.
you can go ham.
Yeah. Oh, listen.
And you do most of the time.
I cuss them, and I'm an ardent supporter of law enforcement, but
too.
I'm also the first to give them down the road when they mess up, or when they do something they shouldn't, or say something they shouldn't. Okay. So let's make that very clear. But here's the thing. I think black folks automatically jump on this. It's because a white person. It's because the judicial system. Good example. And I like this guy, the Marvel guy. What's his name? The black actor that got a video he's beating his old lady. He went to Carolina.
Oh, did he go?
The Marvel. Come on, CJ. He's in the Marvel series. He just won.
Jonathan Majors?
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Oh, yeah.
He went to Carolina.
Did he go to Carolina?
He went to Carolina. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Google it. So, and that's what's weird about me. I'll track,
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. But anyhow,
Carolina dude, that's
he goes and gets the Perseverance Award. Okay, now this is where white folks and black folks kind of do this right here.
okay.
I'm watching Entertainment Tonight, which I usually don't watch because it's liberal as shit, And they are literally got this guy up there who I like.
Right.
And he gets up there and starts crying. And they're all, and he says, I was a black man in the justice system. I'm like, motherfucker, you're on video beating your old lady and dragging her down the street by her hair. That's not the judicial system. That's your ass acting a fool.
See, this is the thing about me. I've never seen that. That's
yes.
I don't do the celebrity thing and follow them.
No.
But what?
Oh, yeah. He's on video. Whipping her ass. Dragging her out of the car. It's right on the corner of the street. Yeah. Google it. You can see it.
I'm going to have to Google it as soon as I leave it.
I mean, he lost a Marvel. He lost one of the biggest. They dropped him.
Yes.
And they dropped him before it went to trial. Because they knew when it went to trial, his ass is going to be found guilty unless he pled, and he wasn't going to plead because he's a proud black man. Okay? I mean, think about that.
Okay, so what are you saying? That's why we diverge. So
white folks see that, and we immediately, going back to what you say, white folks see traffic stops,
right?
And we don't understand why black folks get so belligerent and don't kill me. I mean, do you see how I watch them because that's what I do. Back in the day for training videos,
right?
And if I could just tell black folks one thing,
just to comply,
just comply.
Yeah.
Give the driver's license out. What was I doing wrong, sir? How you doing today?
I mean, I get it. I get both sides. The reason why I kind of get both sides is because I've been pulled over. I got pulled over. Listen to this. I'm in my neighborhood.
Now wait a minute. What kind of neighborhood is this? Okay,
this is a rich neighborhood.
Okay, see.
So
you got to clarify now, Jimmy.
I'm in Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Okay.
In
predominantly white
golf course community.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I'm driving. The guy picks me up on Marvin Road, and I turn into my development. All right, I'm driving a Benz.
White cop.
It's a white cop.
Okay.
And it's my wife's car, my ex-wife's car.
Okay.
And I'm driving. I'm like, what? He's behind me. Why is he so close to me? So I turn, and then I turn down my driveway, and I hit the button to make the garage go up.
Mm-hmm. And he's still behind you.
He put on his lights, bro.
What was his reason?
Okay. He asked me. This is how the questioning went.
Okay.
He comes. I'm there. I put my window down. Hey, how are you, officer? This is how I'm acting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it.
He said, "Is this your car?"
I can see where that'd be frustrating. Yeah. Would you ask Tripp Roberts that question?
Right. And then he followed it up by, "Do you live here?"
I get it. Yeah.
I said, "Bro, like, I'm driving it, and I just opened my garage.
Yeah.
I opened my garage just to show you because I knew the question was coming. So I opened the garage just so you know I lived here.
Yeah.
And you still ask me if I live here?"
Yeah. And he was wrong, Jimmy.
Dude, listen. He still proceeded to get my driver's license.
Of course. But he had to. You understand.
Why?
Because he's initiated the stop. He's turned on the blue lights. It's being recorded. He has to have reasonable suspicion why he's stopping you. And he can't say, I'm stopping him because he's a black guy in a predominantly...
Okay, so when you say, guys should just comply, this is what you get.
Yeah, okay, I understand. You can still comply and be a dick.
Okay, yeah, right.
You
I comply all the time, and I make sure that it's not Kill a Nigga Tuesday.
CJ, I promised my wife it wouldn't be like this. My wife is from East Tennessee. She had no black folks in her high school. I brought her down for my high school reunion, and she met Lamont Morrison. Right. We went to his barber shop. She owns a hair salon. I promised her there would be no hard R's, and you know what I mean. Okay.
But so that's why I comply. I really do comply. And every time I get stopped, it's, so where you headed? So
now hold on.
So what do you do for a living?
Okay, hold on.
Why is that?
Okay, hold on. Let me try and explain it.
Okay.
Going by what you just told me, he was wrong.
Right.
On the flip side, not defending him.
Okay.
Not an excuse, but an explanation.
Give me one.
You're living in a neighborhood, in a town that they want to ensure that they don't have any problems.
Okay.
No Charlotte problems. Okay. And I'm going to liken it to this: where I live, okay, up in the mountains, we have 2 black folks, and we know where they're at all times. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, Jimmy.
That's a good one. Good one. That was a good one. That was good.
It's a joke, Jimmy. That's another thing America's lost. We don't joke anymore. Okay. And when we were in high school, we had some rough jokes that we would say.
The worst.
The worst. So
the worst.
That was a joke. But yes, we don't have a whole lot of minorities, especially on my side of town. We have a college on one side.
Right.
My side, we don't have. We have a lot of Hispanics. Mm-hmm. I was former law enforcement up there, and going by everything you just said, we did the same thing, but the reverse. It was white folks, because that's all we had. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean, if I saw what was clearly a meth head,
right,
and we're inundated with meth heads. Okay, if you see a meth head riding around in a Mercedes or a nice Honda, or because we don't have a lot of Mercedes except for the golf courses,
right,
the deputies are going to stop them, or they should.
But what I'm saying is, I do not. You cannot just mark me as a meth head or a crack user,
right, or a thug,
Yeah.
And
so
there's not a lot of there's not.
And I had a collared shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing.
How did that end up? Did he write you a ticket?
No.
Yeah, because there's no ticket to be written.
No ticket to. He was just like, that was a warning. A warning for
what? Yeah. What? Yeah.
A warning. You gave me a black warning. I don't know what that warning was about. But so this is why sometimes it gets to that point.
Yeah.
Because a guy just know he's being pulled over because of it.
I get it.
And but the comply thing, I agree totally. Comply.
Don't run.
Comply.
Yeah.
Give him. I tell my son.
Yeah.
what I want you to do, because you're a big guy, he's like 6'2", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
What you do is you put your hands where he can see him.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. And as soon as he asks for that driver's license, you give it to him and give him the registration and put your hands back on the steering wheel.
Almost to the point where you say to the officer, and this is what I tell white kids. This is what I'm gonna tell my grandsons. You get stopped by the police, 10 and 2. Yes sir, no sir. Roll the window all the way down. Don't do this half bullshit.
They doing the internet thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Roll it all the way down, 10 and 2. I need to see your driver's license, sir. I'm gonna grab my driver's license, reach over and grab it, and hand it to them. Do what they say.
I agree.
And it'll back down.
Totally agree with the compliance thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just telling you why it's sometimes
I get it
for some of us to comply.
I get it. And another thing I want to say to you about that, because I used to think about this a lot. I wish somebody like you would go ride with a Charlotte police officer.
I know what it is. I mean,
I don't know how people get. How do they find people to do that job?
Look, man. I'm in those neighborhoods, bro.
I don't know how they do that job.
Yeah, I'm in those neighborhoods.
Tripp Roberts would not make it
right
in law enforcement anymore,
right.
And I'd be at the tail end of my career because I'm like you. You call me the wrong name, and I'm laying hands on you.
Right.
You spit on me.
Right.
We're done.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand. I understand some of the behaviors from the cops, and and I understand. Hey, this guy is being belligerent.
Yeah.
This guy, and sometimes they're drunk or inebriated. I mean, it becomes a difficult process when you're in that situation.
I'm going to ask one thing while I put a pause.
Okay.
When we start the Hitch and Tripp show,
okay,
I want to spend one whole episode on the George Floyd situation.
Absolutely.
But I need you to put your game face on.
Game face on. I mean, game face on. I know that case through and through.
So do I.
And it started this whole Black Lives Matter movement,
right?
Which I knew wouldn't last.
Yeah.
I knew it wouldn't last. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the greatest human rights protests because it wasn't a movement.
Right.
It was a protest. A movement continues. Lasts.
Like the Sonia Haynes Stone Center.
Oh, it's completed.
It's forever.
It's completed.
Forever.
Yeah, it's completed.
Yeah.
All right. So it's I knew that it wouldn't last. It was more of emotional things. People being locked up in COVID and things like that. You wanted to get out of the house. You wanted to be around other people and things like that, which was fine. Which was fine. But that movement wasn't as real as it should have been.
Right.
Well, it wasn't a movement, it was a protest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna put my game face on. I love to talk about it. So just like I said, I'm not liberal. I'm liberal on some things. I'm not conservative. I'm conservative on some things. I'm not moderate. I'm moderate on some things, and I'm fiercely moderate in some things.
You and I are a lot alike.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't like the term Republican and Democrat, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Yeah, because
I don't like these political labels.
Yeah.
I don't like the political labels.
Yeah, put you in a box.
They'll put you in a box.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm actually anti-government. And I learned the hard way.
I know that you are.
Yeah, I learned the hard way in the position I'm in now not to say that because there's crazies out there in that world that will start calling you,
that's right,
asking how many AR-15s you have and when you're going to take the state house.
And you are mayor.
I am. But when I say anti-government,
you are government,
right? But when I say anti-government,
right,
I don't think the government should be telling me and you 90% of what they tell us to do, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think the government has the right to, as small as this, and this is going to kind of weird you out. It's actually against our Constitution for them to tell us we have to wear a seatbelt. You want to know why? It's inside your car. They don't have the control inside.
Jurisdiction.
Exactly.
Inside
you know why they do that? Why we allow them to do that? Insurance has beat us up so bad and said it is safer to wear your seatbelt, and it is.
Right.
Okay.
But
you have a police officer on a motorcycle
enforcing that law,
giving me a seatbelt ticket,
enforcing that law. And
bro, where's your seatbelt at?
You can't enforce it.
Yeah. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want the government to stay out of my life. I want the government to keep you from harming me and me harming you, and stay the hell out of my life.
I agree.
That's when I say anti-government. I want to make that very clear because I do get beat up about that a lot. And I was in the military and I saw some things and knew some things were going on when I was in the military that America shouldn't have been out doing. and on top of like Somalia. We should have went to Somalia. That was Hillary Clinton was feeling bad for some folks who weren't getting some food. What the fuck are we going?
What? What are you talking about?
Somalia.
Oh, okay.
You remember Somalia?
The little small war we had
the
with
skirmish,
Somalia?
where we lost some soldiers. Yeah,
Right, we lost some soldiers. Okay.
Yeah, that was over food. It had nothing. It was all Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
She had somebody in her little cabinet that.
Let me brush up on that.
Yeah. George Stephanopoulos is the reason why all those Rangers had their asses handed to him because he didn't want to turn it into a
Ranger situation.
Yeah, he didn't want to turn it into a Cowboys and Indians deal.
That turned down to Black Hawk Down. That's the movie.
Black Hawk Down, all that. Yeah.
Yes,
that's during my time in the military. That was my big thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so therefore, the government does shit we shouldn't be doing. Right now, you don't realize this. Right now, we're fighting ISIS and Al Qaeda. Right now,
I know we are
in Africa.
In Africa. Yeah.
I mean, we're sending rounds down range, and nobody knows it.
Yeah. That's sad.
It is sad.
That's sad. I mean, how is it that we reel this government back in?
Folks like you and I have to actually go and talk to folks like our congressmen and I have a unique situation because I can actually talk to my congressman because I'm a mayor and whatever else, and I have her grandson who is on my board. He's my mayor pro tem, and I haven't taken advantage of that. And I should go and sit down and say, you know what, Miss Fox, why are we giving all this money? Give me an explanation and
exactly.
And don't be political. Tell me, why do we give all this money to? Sit down one day and read all the money that goes. $15 million to study the mating habits of some mosquito in Zimbabwe. Why do we care?
Right.
$15 million.
$15 million, and we can revamp the educational system because it's not working.
Tell me one school that got the upgraded air conditioners from COVID. Remember all that billions of dollars?
There
are none.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, my kids they went to school in Clemens. They got it. They did get a good upgrade air system.
They did.
Yeah, they did get it.
None of ours got it.
Wow.
Now, granted, and I'm gonna be real with you, we're a Republican county.
Oh. Okay.
We have 4 Democrats in our county. We know where they are too. CJ. Okay.
Gotcha.
And when they call and ask to use town hall for their little get-togethers, I say yes. Turn the cameras on. I want to get. What's that thing? That AI. I want pictures of their faces. So we know where they're at.
Right.
Just kidding, Jimmy. Just kidding.
I know you're kidding. Well,
that's why we didn't get the money.
That's
because we're a Republican county.
Gotcha.
And we don't see any. As long as we have a Democrat governor, we very rarely see money. And that's not the way it's supposed to work.
That's sad.
It is sad. Our roads are shit. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is Mac Brown owned a house up there. Carolina gave Mac Brown a house the first tenure in our county.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I did stonework on Mac Brown's house years ago. The one that burnt down. If you ever see him, talk to him about the house that burnt down in the mountains. Years ago. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh, you got Dean Smith. His accountant lives up there. Michael Jordan had a place or came up and played golf. He's always up there. Yeah.
Right.
Roy Williams is always, But our roads are shit because we're a Republican county. We can't even get the side roads mowed by the state. They'll show up once a year. We're supposed to do it once a month. Yeah, it's all facts.
Wow.
One other thing I want me and you talk about.
Okay.
I want to know your take on the Palestine-Israel deal.
Right now?
Right now.
I think Netanyahu is just in this war because he was about to be politically out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He was not going to be in had he not started that war.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think that Israelis should have the right to completely end Hamas as we know Hamas?
The only reason why I don't think that they should be targeting or trying to end Hamas is because Hamas became a political organization that got voted in by the people.
Wow, you do know your shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if had Hamas not been voted in by the people, then I would say yes, because then they would be deemed a terrorist organization. But they became a political organization that got voted in by the people. So
much like Hitler.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But Israel has been, for lack of a better term, kind of South African.
What does that mean?
It means like
Apartheid.
apartheid.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I drew a blank when you said that. I was like, what
Yes.
the hell does that mean?
Kind of South African.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of like apartheid. They can't. Most of the Palestinians can't get the food and can't trade, can't form business, can't do a lot of things unless they go through the Israeli government. Right? So my thing is, why not let them be independent? You know, why not form two separate entities that's independent? And it doesn't look like Israel wants to do that.
Okay.
Like Netanyahu, he does not want to give them their own situation.
Right.
Or do. I mean, am I wrong on that?
I don't think that you're wrong, and I'm gonna stop and say to a point. And the only reason I say that is if you look, I mean, literally look at Israel and the Gaza Strip, which is where the Palestinians are. It's a third world country versus downtown Charlotte.
Right.
And that's the difference in the way the Israelis want to live and run how they do things. Now, Israel has given to the Palestinians, which I have never understood why they have to.
Right.
They've given to the Palestinians all this stuff that they need, like sewage pipes.
Right.
But Hamas took sewage pipes and cut them up and made bombs out of them. These are facts.
These are facts. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to study more.
Yeah, study
on
up
that.
on it.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that Hamas is doing behind the scene to make it look like Israel is this big evil neighbor, okay? But it comes down to this to me. The Palestinians, if they really wanted to end this, they could tell the Israelis or the Americans or the Brits or the UAEs, whoever,
Okay.
here's where Hamas is hiding, okay? To a point, the four hostages they just recovered, okay, 3 weeks ago, were in Palestinian civilian homes.
I've heard that.
The fact is, Hamas took these hostages, placed them in these Palestinian, civilians' homes, and said, "Don't let them leave this room." And then the females were being visited and being raped. Okay, that's a fact.
Okay.
So when they retrieved them, so what I'm saying is the Palestinians have the opportunity. They've got a hostage. Pick up the phone and call somebody. If you would like a bag of groceries, give us a hostage. It could end today if they just return the hostages and have a good day.
If it's the case that civilians are holding hostages
For Hamas.
for Hamas,
Right.
I would say you're right, but I don't know enough about the situation. Let me study up on
Okay.
it. I'll be ready for the conversation on another day when we do Hitch and Trip.
Okay.
Obviously, we got a show that we're going to do. It's called
100%, yeah.
Hitch and Trip. It's going to be our weekly show on politics, talking about current events, things of that nature, talking about videos and whatever. He mentioned a Marvel character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll talk about various.
And I like your idea about getting a psychologist, either for your show, our show, whoever's show,
Yes.
but a sociologist.
Sociologist.
You're
yes.
wanting to know why the black males want to kill each other. It's more let down the line of a sociologist wants to give you what the dynamics are.
Right.
So, but, fuck, let's find somebody for all of it.
Yeah, you need some historical perspective as well as sociologists, social psychologists, all types of stuff.
All of it. Yep.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna end it here. It was a good start.
It
though.
was a great start.
It was a great start. We got good chemistry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep this going. All right, brother. All right.
Looking forward to it, bud.
And another thing that I want to say is like we are pretty much opposed on a lot of issues. We have different views. Some we have a lot of common.
I think we always ultimately end up the same place.
I agree.
Yeah.